Hello guys, so today I will walk you through using very basic steps of using the Varmax mini sewing machine. As you see, it has lots of functions and lots of different little things here in the front. It comes with an extension table that helps you maneuver larger pieces in your machine. It also has this sleeve cutout function here for smaller pieces that you might have to turn around. It'll just go in this little area. Very easy to use. So I'm just going to go through all the different pieces before I talk about plugging it in, things like this. So the machine does have, of course, instructions it will come with. It will come with some extra items, such as 2 empty bobbins, 2 full bobbins, some extra needles, and a needle thread or things like that, but we'll talk about that in a second. So as you can see, you have a schematic here of the major components of the machine, but we can go right through them. So we do have one of the most important things here are going to be your hand wheel, your bobbin spindle. This is what holds your bobbin, the thread that's actually going to be sewn from, but you can also sew, I believe, from larger spools. You have your tension screw, which allows you to tighten or loosen your tension, which we will talk about in the next segment as far as getting a nice stitch. You have the thread spindle right here, which also can hold a large spool of thread, just like a regular spool like this. You can also wind from that for your bobbin. So this is a nice extension. It just goes right back down there. There's a little pad there to kind of keep it from just moving around. A little rubberized pad there. So we discussed the hand wheel. You have your tension, your take-up lever right here. This is what they call a take-up lever. As you're sewing, and I'll just do this manually right now, as I turn this handle towards me, you can see the lever moves up and down. And that is how the thread gets sucked into the presser foot area here, to the needle to kind of go up and down there. And you'll see that this little piece moves up and down as you do that. So that's just a piece of the mechanics there. So no worries about that. You do have a thread cutter right here on the side that when you're done, you can just take it over and cut your thread off there, and it'll leave you a nice long thread to begin sewing the next item, which I'll talk about when we get to that part. We have a lamp, and the lamp is controlled here. You have this top button. If you press it in, it's not plugged in right now, the lamp will come on, and you just press it again to turn it off. You have a thread fixing ring, which we'll talk about when I go to thread the whole machine. It's just a little ring right here near the needle and take up that you can just go right through there. Of course, you have your needle and your presser foot and the bottom bobbin and the bobbin cover plates. So the presser foot is this foot here, and sometimes you can switch them out in different machines depending on what function you need, but this one has the straight presser foot basically. And as you can see, I'm lifting it up and down with the lever. And then we have our bobbin plate cover, and the bobbin is right in there, and we will talk about that in just a minute when we get to that section. So I'll just cover that back up for now. The other options you have here on these buttons are your power button, off and on, and then you have your speed, high and low. So you just press it in for high speed, take it back out for low speed. That's a really great function for if you're using this button to control the machine. There's another way to control your machine to start sewing or stop, and that is the presser foot, which I enjoy. This is my favorite thing about a little machine like this, because all you do is put this down on the floor. Of course, it's going to be pressed by your foot, and your foot presses it, and it'll start. And then when you remove the pressure from your foot, it will stop. So we will take this. You cannot operate the foot pedal and pressing on and off here. So you have to choose one. So if you're going to use the off and on button here, do not plug in the foot pedal. If you're going to use the foot pedal, do not use these off and on buttons here, okay? So I'm going to plug in the foot pedal. It goes in the top area. It does say foot pedal there. And I'm going to put that on the floor. You can control that with your foot. And then we have our power source, which is great. It comes with this. This is going to plug in right here. It's a DC port, a 6 volt, 800 mega amps. There you go. So this plugs right in here. If you choose to use the AC power or the DC power, you cannot use the batteries, okay? Do not put both of them at the same time. If you have batteries in here, do not plug it in to the socket. And if you're plugging into the socket, do not add batteries, okay? So it can hurt the machine that way. So if you're not using this power, you can put in 4 AA batteries right in here, and then just cover that back up, and you can operate it with the batteries. Okay, so if you're not using batteries, again, you can go ahead and plug that into the wall socket, which is what I will do. Okay, I have it plugged in already, and I'll turn the light on just so you can see that. There it is, with the power plugged in. I'll put these things to the side for now. You have your extension table, and I'll go ahead and open that up, even though I do not need to use it right now, but you need to bring down this lever here, and then you have 2 other pieces there that will keep it sturdy, and then you just slide it into place here. So when the machine arrives, it will have a little piece of fabric here where they already tested it, and my tension is perfect right now. So I will show you how to adjust tension, how to fill your bobbin, how to thread your machine in the next segment of videos. But right now I just want to show you it does arrive ready to go. Just very quickly, when you are going to go to sew, again, I have the foot pedal, so I'll be using my foot here. I'm going to take this piece of fabric out. Make sure that you have enough string coming from your needle that when you begin to sew, the thread does not just pull out. Okay, so you do need to have a good amount of thread. And if you do not, the easiest way to get more thread length here is to go ahead and hold on to the end of the thread. This is the thread that's coming from my needle here. And you can turn, I have the presser foot up. Okay, the presser foot is up. That releases the tension. And I'm going to bring the hand wheel towards me. And as I'm pulling it towards me, I'm going to pull a little bit of the thread just so that I can release that tension and get more thread out of it, okay? You can also get it from up here, but you just want to add a little more thread to the length coming out of your needle so it doesn't just come out completely when you go to sew. So I'm going to use this little test fabric, even though I already have a video on making a whole project with this machine. But I'm going to put my little test fabric there. And you always want to test out your fabric. If you're using 2 layers of fabric, 3, 4, whatever it is, just test it so that you know that your tension is good. And again, I will discuss the tension in the next video. So before I begin to sew, I put the presser foot down with the lever here. The needle is not in the fabric, so we're going to bring the needle in. You can go ahead and just press the presser foot, but it's going to start sewing. The easiest way to get the thread in there, just to make sure the thread is in its spot, is to go ahead and turn the hand wheel towards you, and it will go into your fabric. And as you see, I still have plenty of thread. It didn't fall out of the needle or anything like that, and that's a common problem. So if you're not understanding what I mean, I think people who have seen that will know. So now the thread is in there, and I would just press the presser foot, and it goes. Now I can show you, I will unplug this. I will unplug the foot pedal. And now I can use this button here to go to sew. So I can press that. And as you can see, it sews very quickly. So, and I pressed it to turn it off. That's why I enjoy using the presser foot. It's a great option because you can control the on and off and even the speed to a certain amount, to a certain extent, because you can, as you're laying your foot off of the presser foot, off the foot pedal, the speed lessens a little bit that way. So again, high, low, on and off, if you're using the manual options here. And stay tuned, in the next video I will show you how to change out your bobbin, how to fill a bobbin and use other threads, and how to go ahead and thread the whole machine.